If Furious 5 managed to win 2 out of these 3, we are going to a bracket reset. Tano, we could be here for a while with these teams slugging it out, but we are seeing the Beyblade and Godzilla getting banned straight away, plus the Hooper. I am not seeing bans this quickly. These Asian teams know exactly what they want going in.
A Dragon Knight ban is also a very interesting one there, Lobo. Unless they know of a player that is pretty strong on it and they're targeting, or I can't think of why you'd want to ban that with any comp that you're running into at the moment.
Well, I think I saw ADK use a Dragon Knight earlier on. Maybe they just want to take away that secure. Dragon Knight Hyper Beam, probably one of the best secures in the game. It could force ADK, if they go for the secures instead of the fighting, instead of the team fights, it could force them onto a mon like Inteleon. It could force them, again, Leafeon, such a good secure with the Solar Blade. Blaziken, such a good mon with the secure. Other mons that aren't as threatening as Gyarados with that Hyper Beam secure.
Yeah, and what I do love is that both of these teams are very aggressive and team fight very well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that with going for the objectives. We see the Sylveon locked in very early over there, which is an interesting pick. It works in both ways. It's a very strong pick. Not usually one that you do see go first. But with the Umbreon and the Trevenant already picked, it's kind of one of those where most of the good defenders have already gone. They're not going to pick another one, so you can pick that a bit later, as we see there with the Slowbro and the Gyarados getting locked in there, Lobo.
But I like this choice. I like this Pikachu choice pickup to counter the Gyarados. The Gyarados is so strong, but being able to lift it up, sustain it with that Volt Tackle. But also, what a lot of people don't realize is when you click that Pikachu Unite move, the Thunderstorm, and you Volt Tackle a target, it targets the entirety of that Thunderstorm onto that target. So that could be specifically there for the Gyarados. But we saw Mama so good and so clean with those telekinesis grabs that Cramorant was not able to move at all and just be able to be shredded down. But look at this, Tano. We have gone an entire draft without Leafeon getting banned and without Leafeon getting picked up.
I can't believe it. That is a shock, Lobo. But I very much enjoy the pick of the Blaziken. Now, over on the side, over there, they don't really have much range or poke, shall we say. It is very much a brawler team. But what I like about the Blaziken is that with its moves and the dashes it has, it will be capable of running in and trying to take out that Cramorant. It's going to be good to try and get in those back lines to do that, but it just needs to get in there and be in the face with it as it does it.
Absolutely. Look, I could be proven completely wrong, and you made a great point about the range. We could see a Thunderbolt Pikachu come out as well. I've also seen very recently that we have seen the Electro Ball Thunderbolt combination. Electro Ball causing a bit of a slowdown, allowing an easier stun for Pikachu to pick up. So this is a very CC heavy team because we've got the Trevenant Woodhammer. We've got the Snarl Mean Look combination from the Umbreon. Both movesets from Pikachu able to deal CC damage, as well as if we see a Cramorant Surf Hurricane, that's even more CC. So this is going to be very interesting for the side of ADK versus Furious 5. But we know Furious 5 like to be aggressive. We're probably going to see the Eldegoss invade once again. It does look like we're seeing the Eldegoss invade go through, and we are seeing a Cramorant central area, Tano.
That's interesting. I actually really like that, to be honest, Lobo. I mean, it's really good to get that damage going straight away, but a Glossifer is a pain in the butt when it comes to invading. They haven't been able to get there in time to be able to take the red buff, because Cramorant does a lot of damage, but with a Mimikyu being quite strong anyway in this top lane, they're going to try and take on that Magikarp and grab the XP and get those stacks early.
Yeah, absolutely. We already saw the Cramorant had its air slash move done, that Natu giving it big damage, but that Magikarp effort Gorge is already at half Gorge, and that is going to be dangerous because we've seen this Gyarados get online at minimum 830, as we have the experience share helping that Mimikyu possibly get to that Shadow Claw or to that Play Rough, whichever one it's going to go to. Mystical Fire Sylveon coming down in, but the Glossifleur still in that central area. Pikachu having to use its eject button, Electro Ball going on through, but Mystical Fire Sylveon has come down, taking down the Pikachu. We're going for a fight here inside the enemy team's central area as we got a Mean Look popped off. Phantom taking down the Blaziken. Furious 5 are being very aggressive as Gyarados is online, Tano, and it is going to go one-on-one versus this Mimikyu, and the Mimikyu is going to take down the Gyarados, but... Oh! Eldegoss takes down the Mimikyu!
Oh my god, Lobo. I honestly thought Mimikyu was going to take out Eldegoss there. They had like 5 HP and they took down the Gyarados and nearly the Eldegoss. That was huge. That just shows why Mimikyu is so strong up in that top lane. But Furious 5 do not want to let up. All these invades that are coming in, the aggression that's coming in, the rotations to the bottom lane, they are just keeping that aggression on. But it does feel like they're really wasting a lot of Aadok's time with these invades. They've got 3 Mons having to defend the jungle right now, Lobo.
Absolutely, they are wasting time, but this is just allowing the Gyarados to get its stacks on. The Shadow Sneak onto the Gyarados with the Shadow Claw. It's managed to go onto the Sylveon. Volt Tackle, Shadow Claw combination managing to do its work. Furious 5 have gone down, and now Blaziken's going to go down as well. This is the problem that I envisioned with just invading that jungle. They've now given ADK a lot of levels. No, actually, I'm mistaken. The levels are quite even across the board. But the distraction tactic you were talking about, it just lets the Gyarados level up and get its stacks. And I think that's what Furious 5 are all about.
Yeah, not only that, as you say, the Gyarados managed to grab all that farm in the top lane because there wasn't anyone to stop them at the 720s. But the Mimikyu and the Umbreon are turning out to be quite a good pairing up there. They take out the Gyarados, but it is a Mystical Fire Sylveon. They're just going to be able to dive around, do a lot of damage with that slow road there as well. Cramorant is currently ripping the bottom Regirock. They do manage to secure that. So level-wise, it is pretty even at the moment, but with that T1 being down already for Furious 5, they'll have more XP in that bottom lane.
Unfortunate there. The Mimikyu finally ended up going down. The Shadow Claw combination so good. Pikachu going to try and stop these scores from going in. Volt Tackle on the Eldegoss. Telekinesis hitting the Umbreon. Regieleki is going to reset itself. And now the Trevenant about to go down here. No, it does not go down. Gets pushed out. The Horn Leech, the Mystical Fire does end up taking it down. Cramorant is back in with the Dive Air Slash. And now the Eldegoss is chasing the Pikachu. This Eldegoss, so aggressive. Cramorant could go down here. It does go down to the Mystical Fire. And now we've got a game on our hands. Umbreon coming in with Moonlight Prance. Gyarados going in with the Dragon Rush. But, oh my god, the Mimikyu just picking up the 2 KO streak. Again, Tano, this Mimikyu's on a roll.
It is. This game really feels like it's Mimikyu v Gyarados at the moment, and Mimikyu is the one coming out on top right now, purely because that Umbreon is being such a good support with that Mimikyu. They're just being able to set themselves up to drop that damage, get that healing. At the moment, this Regieleki is getting ripped. Mimikyu, just to prove my point, secures it there as well. They're going to be able to put a lot of pressure up on this top lane at ADK at the moment, but Blaziken doing whatever they can to pick up the squishy Cramorant. It's not enough. Mimikyu with a triple KO. Cramorant securing the Blaziken there. 4 KOs and a hell of a lot of XP in that top lane for ADK.
Absolutely, this game does feel like the Mimikyu versus Gyarados show. The Mimikyu, however, 3 levels ahead of this Gyarados. The plan by Furious 5 not working to get that Gyarados even further online than it needs to be. They are just taking this fight. But you pointed out something absolutely correct. This Umbreon has done a fantastic job supporting that Mimikyu. And look, they're in it together. Again, the Wish, the Snarl, they stun, allows the Mimikyu to get an easy Shadow Sneak and go in with the Shadow Claw resets. Unfortunately, on the other side, the Eldegoss not coming through for the Gyarados, but there is the Slow Beam on the Cramorant. The Mimikyu has Shadow Clawed in. Slowbro is just going to get annihilated here, and it is just the support of both of these mons. I think Furious 5 need to start playing together. Big Dragon Breath coming through. The Dragon Current's going to go on. It does get Mean Look running out. And unfortunately, the Trevenant does go down to the Eldegoss. Dragon Gyarados is going to get played with me by Mimikyu. Blaziken, Fists of Fire on top of the Mimikyu. It does go down. Furious 5 have now taken down 4 members of ADK. And this is just back and forth. I'm tired just watching this one.
And with a huge 40 overcap in that T1 there, Lobo, that might end up being the thing that determines this game, because it's 231 points to 204. It's actually anyone's game, but there is a massive amount of XP on both sides of the field here. I think you are 100% right. You mentioned earlier that Furious 5 need to concentrate on fighting together. That's something that ADK have done extremely well in this game. Even if it's just duo pair-ups when they go into these fights, that is what needs to happen for Furious 5 if they do want to win this game.
We saw that the Gyarados was 3 levels behind the Mimikyu now. It's only 2 levels. It got to that level 12 very quickly, but 2 level 13s on the side of Furious 5 as Blaziken is just going to use Overheat to secure and walk this Regieleki down. I don't know if Furious 5 want to be pushing this. They are super aggressive. Mimikyu possibly getting caught out here. Gets caught by the Surf, and the Blaziken Fists of Fury decide to take out the Mimikyu, and that is going to be huge experience for the Blaziken Tano as Regieleki is just walking it down, and Sylveon trying to get a 45 cap down bot side.
Yeah, that's going to be cheeky if they do manage to get that in. It seems like they've decided not to. At the moment, though, I feel like it's just going to be better to just back up and grab your XP. We are 1 minute away from this Rayquaza spawning. Getting these levels is going to be the most important thing for both of these teams to do right now. As we can see, the Sylveon, instead of going for the back cap, has decided to go back and get that XP. It's all going to come down to this Rayquaza. These teams have managed to keep themselves in it really, really well. 40 seconds away from the Rayquaza, there is literally just less than 30 points between these teams. So grab as much XP as you can, get those levels as much as you can. Level 14 on the Sylveon and the Blaziken there, Lobo. Level 15 has just been hit on the Mimikyu.
Unbelievable. Level 13 on the side of the Gyarados, 14 Cramorant, 12, 11, 11 for the rest, and 11, 11 for Slowbro and Eldegoss, respectively. 2 level 14s and a level 13. Wow, it looks like the engage is coming in early. Slowbro going to go down early, having to use the Slow Beam on the Trevenant. Eldegoss keeping it alive. It's going to use the Cotton Cloud Crash, and one able to keep the Play With Me onto the Gyarados, just managing. Garen Current is going to come out. The ults are flying, and the Rayquaza hasn't even spawned yet. 1 member down for the side of ADK, 3 members down for the side of Furious 5. Fairy Frolic coming up for the Sylveon, and it is going to be game over for Furious 5 as Slowbro and Eldegoss are going to come back in, but never deny the Slowbro is there. Oh!
I envisioned it, Lobo. I thought the Slowbro was going to be able to get it, and we were going to be screaming into the mics, but Pikachu manages to get the secure there. That was a very premature Rayquaza fight. That was crazy to see. Rayquaza hadn't even spawned yet, and most Unite moves were gone. I mean, they've not managed to score a massive amount of points, although with that 100 burger going in, that is 431 points to 204. Does look like that is going to be it for the game chat. We have a minute left in this game, but a huge push a huge push from Furious 5 here could be enough to win it. They only need the 230 odd points to win it, but there's a lot of defense capability on the side of ADK right now.
3 level 15s on the side of ADK. Mimikyu is gone for another 14 seconds. Cramorant has lost its shield. It's going to go down. Oh my god, 2 members down for the side of ADK. Could we get another push coming through? We have a Slowbro Unite that could be coming through. There it goes once again. There's the drop one, and Pikachu is going to crash on him with that Thunderstorm. Gyarados is going to bounce anywhere it can. They're just going to retreat. There is only 200 points in this game. The Dragon Current's going through on to the Pikachu and the Umbreon. They just have to scatter. Can they do the math to get the points in? Pikachu's going to go down. Mo possibly to the Gyarados. Unbelievable. This is still anyone's game. 17 seconds. The Wish popping on the Pikachu. Double scores incoming, Tano. 4 members down for the side of ADK. What is going to happen? We saw the 100 go in, but I don't think that's enough time. I'm wrong. Oh my god.
Furious 5 with a massive 300 burgers in that final 2 seconds of the game, Lobo. That is insane. That's the craziest game I have ever witnessed in Pokemon Unite chat. Holy cow. I'm speechless.
Hang on. Take a breath. Let's just take a breath. Oh my god. Let's just recap what we saw. ADK took the Rayquaza. They decided to only score 100. That put them 200 points ahead. They lost the Mimikyu because it lost its shield at the central area of the farm. At Team Furious 5's, they got some. Oh my god! And then the Cramorant went down, so that was 3v5. The Pikachu and Umbreon support survived, but then Pikachu gets taken out. They crash into tier 2, and then they take out the final stand, which is Cramorant, and 300 burgers went in. Can we get a look at the battle report on Spot? Like the graph, please, if that's possible. Can we get a look at the graph? Just to have a look at these scores. There it is. There it is.
I mean, we've got the Hooper available. We've got the Umbreon and the Sylveon picked straight away. It's going to be interesting to see how they adjust their tactics so that the next game they're in a better position at that Rayquaza.
Yeah, absolutely. But we are going to go straight into game number 2. Tyranitar and Dragonite being banned, and the Gyarados. The Gyarados was a problem. It's being banned on the side of ADK. Unbelievable. But Solo is going to pick up that Leafeon this time round. Are we going to see... Oh, I've still lost the ability. Mamo doing such a good job with the Slowbro. We thought that Slowbro was going to possibly steal the raid, but it did such a fantastic job pinning down that Cramorant with those Surfs and the Telekinesis. Such a good combination. Again, we're seeing 2 EVs on the side of ADK. We're getting the Umbreon, the Sylveon, but look at this time round. Even without the Gyarados there, we're going to see the Mimikyu being played by Furious 5, and I actually really like this, Tano. I actually really like this pick into the Delphox. The Delphox is going to stop any chance of that Sylveon just using its dashes to get in and around, and any attacker that they decide to pick right now, an Urshifu, this is a great pick to counter that. If this is an E-Speed Lucario, I think it's going to be a problem for Furious 5, but again, Mama's been so good with that Telekinesis.
Yeah, no, you are 100% right. I love the Delphox pick. I really like the Lucario pick to try and combat it if it is E-Speed. But even if it does go the pup moveset, right, it can still do enough to do a lot of damage, dive in and try and get out. But the thing is, like, they only have, realistically, the Slowbro to sort of frontline for that Delphox. Now, unless they're going to go with the Hyperspace Hulls for Hooper so that they can send them back, they can heal them. It's interesting. Usually you expect to see a Delphox with 2 frontline on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did see the Trick Hooper coming out before. We saw how much of a powerhouse that was with the Gyarados. It surprised us both because we're not usually used to seeing Trick Hoopers. But again, with Pokemon so strong like Leafeon and even a Trick Mimikyu, I couldn't imagine a Mimikyu getting a shields not only as long as well as with an X attack and the Shadow Claw resets. We could see a Mimikyu pop off if it starts to get rolling. That Lucario has to probably play, get to that level 11 very quickly so it doesn't get stunned by that Shadow Sneak. That Shadow Sneak ability. But here we go, Tano. Mimikyu heading into that central area, and Cramorant once again going into that central area, but for a different team this time around.
Yeah, and the thing is this, we got the Hooper coming in for the invade, and almost as if they expected it, the evolution is there to meet the Hooper on the way, which means that it's this Leafeon left alone in the top lane with the Lucario. It looks like they're just going to shake hands and just go and get their stacks. Bit of a risky move because the Leafeon will be able to get evolved from that quite easily. Hooper's decided, I've had enough, I'm out of here. This Cramorant and this EV is too much for me. They might end up securing the Hooper there anyway. I think they do. Really, really good secure there from the side of ADK.
Oh, I thought if the Umbreon had just seen how low that red buff was going to be for the Mimikyu, it might have been able to steal it away. But this is a dangerous thing for Furious, for ADK to just let the Leafeon get its stacks up. Umbreon getting its attack up. Leafeon just managing to get out as Sylveon's Hyper Voice is going to come on through. Again, fast and furious action. That's why we've got the Furious 5. We've got fast and furious action coming from both teams. Mimikyu's going to go in. It is that play rough set. It does get mean looked, and Lucario takes down the Mimikyu as we've got a 4 top lane push with only the Hooper able to survive. ADK have learnt they are not going to let Furious 5 get rolling, and they are trying to crash that base, leaving it on 5 points, Tano.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, it's not a Solar Blade Leafeon from what I can see here, Lobo. So they've gone for the Leaf, what's it called now? It's not Leaf Blade anymore, is it? It's Razor Leaf, that's the one. So it is very good, is Razor Leaf, but the difficulty is there's a lot of CC on the other side, and that can make it a lot more difficult to use that move effectively. Look at the mean look. You've even got the Lucario that's able to do quite a bit of CC against the Leafeon. So it's an interesting moveset, and they're going to need to be really aggressive to try and make sure that they get some secures.
This is exactly what we said at the draft stage, where your ADK are they're just going to pin them down. If they can't out-damage them, they're going to pin them down. They're going to make sure that they can't move. And I think this is possibly a bad option for the Leafeon. Razor Leaf means you do have to get a little bit more in range. I think Solar Blade just has a bit more range on the Razor Leaf. And so he's going to have to get a bit closer. Cramorant is playing that dive moveset, so no Hurricane moveset, so going to go full damage. And the Trevenant has decided to lock in that Woodhammer combined with the Hyper Voice. But we are hitting to that 720 Altaria's moment down. We wish Umbreon, wish Mean Look coming in through on the Umbreon. Shadow Sneak missing. I think going player off here was a little bit of a mistake for the side of Furious 5. What do you think?
I tend to agree with you, to be honest, Lobo. It's interesting the moveset that Furious 5 have gone with going into this game. They don't really have any secure. I mean, I know they've got the Delphox that can do quite a bit of damage, but the Solar Blade would have been the shout for that. The Mimikyu taking the player off there. They are interesting movesets to pick. I mean, the Lucario has gone for the Power-Up Punch, which means they not only are they going to have close combat, which is a pretty good secure, but it also means that they've got some CC that they can drop. This Registeel, though, in the meantime, is going to the Mimikyu. They managed to secure that despite the amount of pressure from ADK there. They pick up the Trevenant as well. Screamion taking out the Mimikyu there and the Hooper. So even though ADK lose that bottom objective, they managed to secure the Lecky, which is currently going into the T2. The Lucario picks up the red buff, and they've managed to take some KOs to get aggressive in this bottom lane, Lobo.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the Shadow Play Rough doesn't get any resets, Tano. So even though the Mimikyu was low, it managed to secure it. It got a takedown with the Play Rough, and there goes the Leafeon on a 2 KO streak. It's going to try and take on a Trevenant here, which is probably not the best idea for a Leafeon. The hype, the Fire Blast coming in from the Delphox as we're looking for a bottom lane push. Mimikyu is probably just going to go bot side, top side here to avoid all of the fighting. And the Trick Hooper just unable to set them back. Oh, the Telekinesis picks up the Lucario, and Hooper gets a kill on the Lucario as Furious 5 have just decided to push Trevenant low health here as the Fire Spins are actually doing great work for the side of Furious 5.
Yeah, huge. But this Screamion coming in. Oh, but that Fire Spin again, stopping that Screamion from being able to pick up any KO from their Hyper Voice there. Now, the thing is, the Unite move on Delphox is so important in this game, chat, because it not only does it do quite a lot of CC, you are very slowed in it, it does a decent amount of damage, but it also does some anti-healing, and on top of that, it has it very, very often. It's a very low cooldown for that Unite move.
Absolutely, one of the lowest cooldowns in the entire game, probably second only to, I think even lower on cooldown than Pikachu's Thunderstorm. But again, you're right, Delphox such a good hindrance here. But look, the Hooper Unbound has decided to come up. They're just going to crash into the topside pad as the Play With Me comes out onto the Lucario, and this is just going to, no, the beautiful jumps coming through from ADK. They saw it happen instantly. Phantom Forest comes down, great defense there by ADK. I thought that was going to be a crashed pad. We would know that at that 5-minute mark, that is exactly what Furious 5 like to do, but great defense by ADK.
Yeah, really, really huge. And in response, they're going to go get that Lecky in the top lane. They know they don't need to worry about that. And they're going to have a nice, tasty fight down here. The Hooper no longer has their Unite move, using it just then. So they know they can come down to this objective and not worry about that getting popped off. Some really good zoning coming in here from the Trevenant. They've managed to zone out the Leafeon. Enough for Lucario to secure that Regirock. And they've got the Lecky as well. So ADK have managed to secure both objectives here, Lobo. And they've got some huge aggression coming into this T1 down here. They're going to be able to score some more points there.
Again, the Play Rough hitting that Cramorant. It was able to dive out of the way, but no resets once again. Cramorant getting out on low HP, and Mimikyu is just left by itself. The Hyper Voice coming out, but the Fanciful Fireworks does allow a good defense of that top tier 1 pad as ADK just have to back off. Again, Tano, we keep talking about it. I hate to keep banging on about it. Shadow Claw was the way here, especially with the anti-healing of the fanciful fireworks. You drop that Delphox Unite right onto a team fight, and that Mimikyu is just going to clean up here. But I think they've decided that they just don't want their team to get away. Here we go, 3.5 minutes left to go. The levels look even. The scores look even. Are we going to get another ending like we had before? I don't think my heart can take it.
Especially not if it goes to the side of ADK and we end up in a game-free situation. But yeah, I'm 100%. But I feel like the synergy for Furious 5 at the moment is just lacking a little bit with those mons. I feel like this Delphox has been a vital Pokemon in this game at the moment. But ADK do not want to give up. Oof. They are keeping the aggression on. A nice pick up on the Umbreon there. They managed to score even more points in that T2 with the Lucario. It seems like whatever's going on, there is always a mon for the side of ADK to just put some aggression on into the opposite lane. They're going to get the Trevenant here. They do pick it up and they can try and push in to the T1 here, but they've got the Cramorant there. They're going to try and do whatever they can. They pop the fireworks there from the Delphox at 237. They may still have that back though. As we said, it is a very low cooldown, but it's not enough for them to be able to defend the goal. They're going to be able to put some pressure on here at Furious 5. Can they pick up the Screamion? No, they can't. The Screamion comes in. The Hooper is very low. Oh my god, we have a Sylveon Unite move there, Lobo, at 218.
Unbelievable. Sylveon Unite, I don't... the Delphox Unite, I understand, but Mimikyu is just going to go down swinging here, reset that death timer as it comes back. It's going to be gone for a little while. Furious 5 are not going to be going full force, but they have a Regieleki moving into the top side of the base with the Rayquaza having spawn. Slowbro popping that surf does get mean. Look, it's going to get crunched down here, and if they can take out that Slowbro, there goes that Slow Beam. Slowbro is just going to make its way out, and what... Oh no, the Leafeon was found. Emerald two-step onto the Cramorant. The Cramorant just survives using the gulping Gatling gun. And now it's just hitting the Rayquaza. And here we go, Mimikyu is back on in. It's still, oh my god, the Hyper Voice going down. The Fairy Frolic's going. And Luke Delphox secures with the Unite move. That's it. This could be a 2-0 if they can get some scores in. But the Regieleki went in topside, Tana. They got a 50 cap inside the top base. Another one going into the bottom base with a Slowbro without a shield. Furious 5, a 2-0. And do you know what that means, Tano?
Oh my gosh, it means they are going to have the opportunity to final this game. Oh my god.
We are going to a bracket reset.
Insane. Furious 5. Oh my god. It did. I mean, most of this game, it felt like they were on the back foot. ADK was so aggressive. The moves that Furious 5 went with seems like they weren't quite the synergy that they were looking for. But if you are capable of getting a secure on that Rayquaza, they played the Regieleki absolutely perfectly as well, chat. And it's enough. They are 865 points to 285. There's no way they're going to lose this game. Furious 5 with a bracket reset.
Absolutely. 925 points going in, and they have hit the 1,000 mark against ADK, one of the strongest teams in this competition that we've seen so far. 13 seconds left to go, and Furious 5, Tano, they 2-0'd. They 2-0'd Secret Rare. They 1-0'd Bulba Believers, and now they have 2-0'd ADK. That is...
And what
that is a 5-match win streak. 5-match.
What I find the most exciting about that, Lobo, is that, and I hope they don't mind me saying, it did not look like they were going to win either of these games.
Absolutely.
They didn't give up. They had the most insane comeback I've ever seen in the previous game. In that game, it did seem like the Delphox was just managing to keep them in it, but it didn't seem like the synergy was quite there. But wow. Instead, they managed to secure that Rayquaza and score over 1,000 points to actually win the game. If we had a conversation when that game was at 5 minutes in and said, yeah, they're definitely going to win this game by over 1,000 points, you just wouldn't believe it.
No, absolutely not. How are you supposed to believe that? That's unbelievable. But I want to point this out, and it's just been pointed out to me as well. Look at the damage taken on the Delphox. But we need to see what they're going to bring out right now. Again, the T-Tar ban coming out straight away, Tano. What do you think we're going to see? I feel like, do you think we're going to see a Gyarados game 1 of this bracket reset?
I don't see why not. I mean, the Mimikyu getting banned straight away is completely understandable. It has been a very strong mon. I don't see why you wouldn't take Gyarados. If you are going to have a banned Tita or a banned Phalanx and a banned Umbreon, it is a hell of a mon to take.
Absolutely, but again, that leaves the window open for Leafeon. It leaves the window open for Gyarados. We're seeing the Trick Hooper coming out. It leaves the window open for Sylveon, Glaceon. Again, the evolution is just running riot in this current meta, and there it is, the Trevenant Sylveon, which, yep, wait. They're baiting me, Tano. I don't like it when players do this. They bait me into these things. And there it is again. Oh, they just let them have it, Tano, with the Trick Hooper.
I'm not sure that's something they want to do. I mean, they picked up the Dragonite, but I don't know. A Leafeon on the Gyarados with a Trick Hooper is a hell of a situation to give your opposite team. You must have a plan for dealing with that. These last 2 picks are going to have to be to try and directly combat that. We have the Blissey getting locked in there. I don't know, Lobo. It's an interesting strategy.
It is the exact same core 4 coming again. Oh my god. We're seeing the big blue button. This is the team that made Bulba Believers quit after the 4-minute mark. This is the team that made Secret Rare 2-0'd Secret Rare to get their revenge. And we are seeing an Urshifu. So I feel like, because we haven't seen too much of water Urshifu in the meta right now. I have a feeling this could be Dark Urshifu. So the single strike Urshifu, looking for that, possibly going for a more secure based comp is ADK. But what are you going to secure if this team just rolls through you again, like we're seeing Furious 5 do? And we're not being super biased towards Furious 5. We're just saying what we've seen on the screen, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's it, Lobo. We're just reporting what they've already done previously in games. I just think, I don't know. I mean, you'd never see Blue Bear anymore, especially not in tournaments. But if you're gonna go Hyper Beam on the Dragonite to get those secures, you can back it up with a Dark Bear to get even more secures. But then again, you're gonna need something that can really kind of brawl with a Gyarados, which is quite difficult to do. So, you know, an Outrage Dragonite maybe, possibly.
Yes, exactly. Because this is a full heal, like we usually see a full heal being run on a Dragonite, but maybe they've decided to go for the Dark Bear because they're running that Outrage Dragonite set, possibly, as well as the Extreme Speed Stun is going to stop a Leafeon in its tracks as well. But again, they're going to expect the Hooper invade. We've seen it in the last 5 games, and I don't... Could Furious... maybe Furious 5 are deciding not this time. Nope. Again, I'm baited again. And but it looks like, look at this, Tano. ADK are not predicting the Hooper invade this time round.
No, but to be fair, Adratini is pretty good in this situation, so it's a pretty good mon to begin with. It has pretty strong secure, it has pretty strong damage, so maybe they've just thought of the fact that they're not too worried about that, but it has enabled that Kung-Fu to be able to get a couple of stacks, which is going to be really important. The Solar Blade on the Leafy on this game, but they do miss it there, although they are up there on their own, is that Kung-Fu, so they may be able to push that goal and get a KO.
Absolutely, and if that Magikarp can get an assist here, that is going to be a huge step to getting Gyarados online. That Magikarp's not too afraid of sticking around to find out. It does get a secure. It's 3/4 of the way there, Tano, and it's only 9 minutes. Leafeon coming up to assist that Gyarados, but look at this. ADK are going for that top 4-lane push and trying to hold this Gyarados in its place. As Solar Blade just secures most of that, and Magikarp is going to go down here, and Leafeon's just going to have to back away.
But this is the power, right, of these evolutions that Furious 5 have. So Leafeon has managed to pretty much stay in that top lane to try and assist the Magikarp where they can. ADK have had to send up 4 of their mons to do so, and it's enabled the Glaceon to really put some pressure on that bottom lane. So now they've got to the point where they're rotating through the opposite side's jungle. They might be able to get a couple of buffs, whilst in the meantime, ADK are going to have to back out of Furious 5's.
Absolutely, but Gyarados is online here. Glaceon just taking away any chance for that Dragonite to get online. Dark Bear versus a Gyarados. Who's going to win this? Gyarados is deciding to go away because Dark Bear has that healing from the Blissey coming on through. The Trick Hooper is going to make those Icicle Spears fly even faster. I cannot believe I'm seeing a viably competitive Trick Hooper in this day and age. And Gyarados is just going to fight, take down the Urshifu, and it's just going to roll in a few more stacks. Again, ADK tried, but they just let the Gyarados do its thing, Tano.
They don't seem to know how to shut that down at the moment, which is going to be difficult. They really need to get this Dragonite up and running as soon as possible, because that's going to be the only opportunity they really have to try and brawl with the Gyarados. But you know, currently Gyarados is just going to have a free reign up there. The Shifu's not going to be able to do much against it with the bounce that it has and the stun, along with the Dragon Breath. It's going to be a bit too much without using their Unite move. They pick it up there. 4 Mons up in that top lane for Furious 5 means that they're just going to put that aggression there. 125 points, 155 points even. But in return, ADK are down here to almost alleviate the pressure in that lane by putting it down here. But you know, Gyarados is going to get that Lecky. It's going to be down to ADK to come down to this Reggie.
Absolutely. Slowbro doing an absolutely fantastic job just stopping them from trying to break that pad. The Hyper Beam secure going on. Is it going to get a Hyper Beam secure with Hyper Beam versus Soul Blade? Hyper Beam does manage to secure even through the Slowbro Surf, but the Hyper Voice is going to just shred it down. Glaceon is just going to try and take down this Trevenant as we go. The Icicle Spear is not firing as Regieleki is just going to walk into that top side. 155 to 133. And again, it's such a close game. All of these games have been so close. It has got to be that misplay, that miscommunication, that misstep on what these teams are going to do next to see who's going to get the advantage. But we are hitting that 6-minute mark, and we have a level 10 and a level 9 and a level 9 on the side of Furious 5. It's the same old story once again, Tano.
Yeah, it really is. And we see the Dragonite here trying to take the opportunity of grabbing that XP themselves. They've managed to hit that level 10 mark. They do have their Unite move alongside the Shifu, so they will be able to do something if they do wish to take a fight. But currently, I feel like you just got to take the opportunity to try and push one side of a lane. I think the divide is going to be a bit too much for them at the moment. The Gyarados and the Glaceon is a bit too much. They push in. They do pick up the Glaceon with the Dragonite, though. Leafeon coming in to back them up. We have the Hooper rotating up into that lane as well, but with the Hyper Beam just missing. Unfortunately, the Trevenant pushed the Leafeon out of the range of that Hyper Beam. That would have been a really, really good KO for them there. They're going to try and shut down the Slowbro in the meantime with that Hooper there as well. Are they going to be able to do so? They do pick up the KO on the Gyarados with the help of the Sylveon. They take out the Slowbro. They are in a good position to try and push this goal with this Lecky popping up.
Absolutely great play by the Dragon and getting those KOs with the Hyper Beam. What I did notice there is that ADK decided to completely and utterly focus the Glaceon in that engage, taking away the backline damage. And what's great about the Dark Urshifu, the single strike Urshifu, that ult, the Unite move from the Urshifu bypasses the Glaceon's passive, which means it's going to go straight in and do some damage, which means that's why they decide to target the Glaceon straight away, take it out at the knees so that Leafeon and Gyarados don't have any backup, but they have backup in another form as Regieleki is moving towards the tower. Urshifu is high-kneesing its way as quickly as it can all the way to the tier 2 pad. Glacial stage has been set. They do have jump pads though. Very Frolic's going to come out, but Glaceon's just going to stay at range. Glaceon injecting away, does manage to get the spears on. No, the Hyper Voice managing to take down Lecky, just needs to move a little bit of a step away. The Hooper Unbound tried to get its teammates out, but an unfortunate take. But Leafeon's still going to get some scores in down bottom as we've got 201 to 145 going into the 3-minute mark, Tano. Good push, good engage, good defense all around. These are high-level plays that we're seeing.
Yeah, they really are, and it's almost as if they accept the domination that's coming from both sides here. They're both doing such a fantastic job. They seem like they want to go and grab the XP. Whenever XP pops up on this map, both teams are trying to get there and get it themselves. So they're both trying to get a bit of a level lead over the other. 44 points going up in that T1 there from the Shifu. That's going to open up extra XP for Furious 5 in that top lane there. But they still seem to want to keep getting in each other's faces. Although, as I say that, they've now decided to go go their own separate ways, grab a cup of tea, grab themselves a bit of XP.
Oh, that is the caster's curse, isn't it? When we say that the teams are about to engage, that's exactly when they decide to disengage and tell us that we absolutely know nothing about this game. But here we have 3 minutes left to go. 2 level 13s on the side of Furious 5. Surf catching out the Blissey. Glaceon's going to throw those spears on. Try and get the takedown here. Blissey does go down to the Glaceon. The Solar Blade is going to take the Shifuda low HP as Glaceon's able to finish it off. There is 2 minutes left to go. There's a minute left to go into the raid, and these teams are just deciding to duke it out. The Icicle Spears are going to go through, and Slowbro is going to pop that XP to try and get out. But Gyarados is going to come up to protect it. But again, 3 level 13s now, Tano. 3 level 13s on the side of Furious 5. But let's not forget, ADK have 2 level 13s of their own and 2 level 12s, one of those level 12 being a level 12 Trevenant, which is scary, scary.
Yeah, it really is. And with this Regirock going to the side of ADK, that Shifu's managed to hit level 13 there. In the meantime, though, Furious 5 have decided they want to go for that Lecky and put some pressure into the top lane with that Lecky instead. It's a really good call when you have this Rayquaza popping up, because now ADK have to make a decision. Do they defend against that Lecky? Do they defend for the Rayquaza? Most teams do leave the Lecky to go in. It gives them a bit of points there, but they have a fight going on at this Rayquaza at the moment. We have the Gyarados Unite popping out to go and take out that Dragapult, but the Dragonite even, but the Blissey Unite saves it there, and they do take out the Gyarados. That is a huge KO for ADK there. They are now just ripping this objective. Slowbro uniting the Shifu to try and make sure that they can stop them getting a secure, but they get it anyway. They did it a bit too early. ADK with a secure on that Rayquaza. They just need to get these Hundo Burgers in. It's a very close game at this point. They're going to be able to rain down fire with points to be able to win this game.
Absolutely, that was such a good play. A little bit too aggressive on the side of the Gyarados. It went in and got surrounded. The Bliss assistance was absolutely perfectly timed on to the Gyarados. The Trevenant could go down here to the combination of the Glaceon and the Gyarados. Sylveon still has 50 points. We still have 1 minute left to go. We know the Furious 5 have been in this situation before. There is 300 points between them, but again, if this Blissey decides to get this 50 points in, it's got shield, and if the Sylveon decides to get 50 points in as well, it could be game, set, and match. But we've got 4 members of the Furious 5 crashing down onto this tier 2. It's gonna be who can score more, but it looks like right now ADK have more points. I don't think Furious 5 have enough points to make up the difference here, Tano.
They don't, and hey, ADK have done the math. When you do the math, you can get that win, and they have done so. They know if they just go and score those Hundo Burgers in that home base, it doesn't matter what Furious 5 do. There is not enough points on this board. There is not enough XP for them to be able to get their points in return. So ADK, with a very, very smart play there, deciding we actually don't need to defend these goals. We can just get 3 of our Pokemon to go and score.
Yeah, absolutely. And the difference between this game and the first game, right, where Furious 5 lost the Rayquaza to ADK, ADK had no shields up. In that time, they were defending with shields, which means they get all of the buffs that Rayquaza provides with it. So in the bracket reset now, we've got ADK going up 1 game to 0 against the Furious 5. Now, if ADK take this one, they are going to be our grand final. Estimate how much damage that Dragon Breath is actually doing in this current meta. It is such a good secure. It is such a good secure if you're able to time that Dragon Breath really well. Again, there we are. Like, we are seeing the Mimikyu ban. That is I think that ADK figured out that Mimikyu was the linchpin to that Gyarados Leafeon combination, because, you know, they can do the damage themselves, but the Leafeon getting those resets is just too good. And there we're seeing the Dragonite ban. They don't want that secure, Tano. Hyper Beam doing so much damage when you get all of those Dragon Dances up. They just don't want to see it.
Yeah, 100% all the way. It's going to be interesting to see what they pick first. So they go for the Umbreon first, which is a very strong defender at the moment, but it does open Gyarados and Leafeon again for them over there on Furious 5.
Absolutely, and possibly they're looking... I'm guessing the reason they would have done that is they want the mean look. And I think this is a good swap in. I think this is a good swap. The Hyper Voice Sylveon has been countering the Furious 5 quite a lot, especially with the damage output that it is able to bring. And the Gyarados coming on in, again, we expected that pick. Trevenant's coming back on in as well, so that Hyper Voice is going to be super effective unless it decides to go for the more maneuverable Mystical Fire, which also lowers the special attack of anyone that those Mystical Fireballs hit, which could be really effective in chasing down that Cramorant.
Yeah, 100%. And the Cramorant game picked again, Lobo. I mean, Cramorant has had a hell of a tournament today. It has been picked in nearly all of the situations. So, interesting that they really do value that Cramorant. It does a lot of damage. In the meantime, though, we have the Hooper picked on the other side with that Slowbro getting picked as again.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe I'm going to have to start picking up Cramorant. Maybe that can make the ranked experience a little bit more enjoyable for me, Tano. But we are seeing the Delphox get picked up this time around. It was really well used by Furious 5 in the previous matches. No, I keep getting baited into these picks. I need to just, But we are seeing a Venusaur. I believe that's going to be a Beamosaur, which is going to provide the range damage, which means we will probably see a Dive Air / Cramorant coming through, as well as a Blaziken. Really good, strong team from ADK. Really, they're set for a little bit more sustain. They're set for a brawl. With the Wish Mean Look, can heal up that Blaziken, heal up that Cramorant. Trevor's got that sustain, and you want to hope that nobody is going to hit that Venusaur. But this is a completely out of left field pick for Furious 5 with the Decidueye.
And to be fair, if you feel like the Venusaur is going to go Beamosaur, I understand going for that the arrows on the Decidueye. But having said that, Lobo, looking at the items on that Venusaur right now, they have a Rapid Fire Scarf, which kind of says to me it might be more Petal Dance with that full heal that they've got as well. That's going to be interesting and exciting to see, because it can brawl, especially with the Giga Drain. So, yeah.
We are usually on a Beamosaur. I mean, usually you would see an eject button being run by a Beamosaur being able to reposition itself quickly because it is such a very slow mon. But seeing that Rapid Fire Scarf, the Focus Band plus the full heal, I agree with you, Tano. I believe they want to have a Gyarados Venu brawl off. They want to have we saw the Mimikyu Gyarados face off before. We want to see a Gyarados Venusaur brawl off. But again, I think this Decidueye could be a very smart pick here. If Mama has done such a good job on this Slowbro with the telekinesis, if you're able to line up the telekinesis with that Decidueye Spirit Shackle, even then, I've seen so many things in this. Could we see a Razor Leaf Decidueye because of how much these teams like to brawl? I mean, it is anybody's game. But what is super consistent is that Hooper Invade.
Yeah, it has been super consistent, and it's done a super consistent job. Almost as if they expect it. We see that Eevee coming down to try and hit them, but they ended up going all the way down past the wall, maybe expecting the Hooper to go for the blue buff, but instead they've decided to go and attack that buff that they're currently attacking. They haven't been able to secure it, but it does mean that that top lane has got a little bit of weakness with just having that the Torchic up there with a Magikarp. The Magikarp managing to get nearly 2 half health. Are they going to secure that objective? Oh, they nearly managed to get that little bit of farm there, but it's an interesting one because Hooper has wasted a lot of time here, Lobo.
Absolutely, but Hooper wasting time there is pretty good for the side of the Furious 5. But if you notice, we are not seeing a dive air / Cramorant. We are seeing a Hurricane Surf Cramorant coming out, which is going to be, excuse me, we're going to see that's going to be super aiding the Venusaur here. But the Trick Hooper is going to come in. It's going to try and stun Decidueye, just barely making it out as he tries to get it with the Hurricane. Decidueye making it out on nothing. This Gyarados is not going to be online very, very, very quickly, but Sylveon coming back to help as we've got the Battle of the Tanks in that bot lane. But Magikarp still very close. It just needs to flail these two, and we've got a Gyarados online again around the 8:30 mark, and this is incredible. Oh, we've got a Cram invade going on as the Cram wants to stop the Decidueye from getting online. Gyarados is online. Now it's going to be a problem. Now we've got the problem here. The Blaziken Blaze kicking away that little bunny, and it is still going to steal the farm, and now Gyarados has got a problem in a 2v1 situation, Tano.
Yeah, the thing is, you need to go all out on that Gyarados. As soon as you get that Evo, if it goes all out there, it's going to take out Umbreon, it's going to take out Combusken. It is such a valuable mon. You just need to be really aggressive with it. In the meantime, though, we have seen that Decidueye get that Evo down in that bottom lane while this aggression is going on up in this top lane here, Lobo. Hooper managing to escape with that movement berry and the trick again, but it does mean that all these mid birds are going to go to this Venusaur that has just evolved now.
Absolutely, but look at the Hyper Voice combination with the Gyarados is a great counter into that Venusaur that's going to be doing that pedal dance. Here it goes. It's going to go to the top side. Try to... No, it's just grabbing the Speed Berry. The Gyarados does find the Blaziken. Oh my god, the Blaze Kick managing to take it out. Beautiful mean look as Venusaur is going to go in. Gyarados is going to have to look to bounce out of here as it does, but it does get mean look, and I think this could be game over for the Gyarados. No, it uses its eject button. Blaze Kick away from its pad, and it bounces towards the Citrus Berry as the rest of the team are coming up behind it. Surf Telekinesis on the Venusaur. It does get caught out. Venusaur goes down. Blaziken is on low health. We need the Shadow Sneak. The Spirit Shackle does manage to take down the Blaziken, and Furious 5 have got a great counter to this Pedal Dance Venusaur in this Decidueye.
Yeah, and even so, it is a very close game. They've only just managed to break that T1 up there in Furious 5, putting them in the lead only by a slight little bit, though. They will be able to secure this Lecky, but ADK are down there to secure the Reggie that is down there. Now, this opportunity that they have here, Lobo, they don't have Springboard up due ADK, so they can push this Lecky. They can get KOs, they can push this Lecky, they're going to grab the XP and put a lot of points into that T2. The Springboard being down for another minute means that they've got a lot of opportunity here.
But we've got the Sylveon does have its Unite move. Gyarados has just clicked on over to its Unite move. We could see a Dragon Current. There comes the knock from the Decidueye, but the Lecky has already gone down. Verdant Anger coming through to try and defend. Dragon Current has gone in as well. The Decidueye on a 3 KO streak. The Hyper Voice is going on in, and Furious 5 does not care that the Lecky has gone down. They are just going to push this objective as much as they can, but ATK still don't have their jump pads available, and now Furious 5 are just going to retreat 80 points to 133, Tano. I don't think these teams ever get tired of fighting, my guy. Like, can they take a break, please?
They don't believe in it. They want to keep on fighting until the cows come home. It is really, really strong coming from both sides here. What's interesting, though, is as soon as they mean look, the Gyarados, they just have to deal with a Sylveon in their face or, you know, the knock from coming from the Decidueye. So it doesn't seem like Furious 5 have any let up for ADK here. They have managed to score some points in that T1 and break it. So it's 148 to 133 at the moment. But you know, they have slightly level increases on the side of ADK, but it is still anyone's game here.
Absolutely, they're going to get a break here, but Decidueye Spirit Shackle is going to say nah to that. Blaziken does manage to get a very decent overcap as ADK have decided that they are now going to push the objective here. Trevenant going down, and that is now a 80-point game between the two. Bounce loading on the Gyarados. It looks like Furious 5 really like this top Regieleki. They doesn't look like they've gone for any bottom objectives, but when they have, they don't really care about it. This top Regieleki is their best friend, and they're really enjoying just going for it, and now they're just going to shred it down as Hooper does have its Unite move here. Hooper does have its Unite move, so if we get the Shred, we could see the Hooper Unite move in defense of its pad, but this Hooper's been very intelligent. It could pop the Rings Unbound. No, it is just going to take that objective, but here we go. Everyone is reset. Hooper is the knock coming on in. Slowbro going down. The Dragon Current onto the Cramorant. Cramorant does go taken down, and Regieleki is still there, and it does. Dragonite Gyarados gets the assist as they're just going to crash on into tier 2. What?
I mean, honestly, Loba, I feel like today, not only have we seen a hell of a lot of Cram, I feel like Gyarados has been an MVP of the whole day today. It has been dominant in so many games that it's been in. They've managed to score so many points up in that T2. It's 268 to 206 now at the moment, but it does mean that home base is exposed.
Exposed it is we could see another coming through. The slow beam that Decidueye took its time to line up that Spirit Shackle and just took out the Blaziken. Trevenant is going to get caught out here once again. That Hyper Voice just shredding it down, as well as the Spirit Shackle coming on in. Trevenant's just going to have to bow out of this one. Again, we've got 2 level 13s on the side of ADK. 1 level 13 on the side of Furious 5. The levels do go to the side of ADK, but the points go to the side of Furious 5 with 3 minutes left on the clock, Tano. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, a minute out of this Rayquaza spawning, and it seems like they're just going to grab whatever XP they can for Furious 5 here, try and catch up on those levels. It seems as though ADK are going to put a bit of a commitment on this Lecky in the top lane. They do have to go for it. If Furious 5 manage to secure that Lecky up in that top lane, it means it's going to go into their home base. They have no choice but to defend it and split their team between defending that and going for the Rayquaza. They know it, they are here, they are ready, but in the meantime, Furious 5 are here to back them up. They've thrown a lot of aggression into this fight. We see the bounce coming in from the Gyarados. They've picked up the Blaziken. They've got the 2 KO for Furious 5 there. It means that they're going to be going onto this Lecky. They're going to secure this Lecky. They have the damage to do so. What are ADK going to do? Are they going to be able to get a steal? The Venusaur isn't there. No, too much of a rip. Furious 5 securing the Lecky means they're going to go to this Rayquaza fight, and ADK have to decide what they want to do.
ADK have a win condition in play to secure this. Trevenant has gone down. Umbreon went down very early on. The Hooper's Rings unbounds. The Dragon Current has just decided to find the Blaziken hidden in that bush. Blaziken heading on into the Rayquaza pit there. Verdant Anger is going to get popped. Sylveon managing to secure that with Hyper Voice. And Furious 5...
I mean, I gotta say, Lobo, out of all the Pokemon that were gonna secure that objective,
Sylveon was not on my bingo card for tonight. Oh my god. I feel like you and I have been left behind with some of this action going on. We have tried to keep up with every single bit of fast-paced action, words moving and spitting as fast as they can out of our mouths. But even before we could just call out the moves of a Venusaur Unite move, that Rayquaza was shredded. And it looks like Furious 5 are going to tie this grand final series 1 apiece. Tano, Game 3 situation.
Wow. I feel like the Venusaur has accepted the fact that they've lost this game. They've now come back to the game. They're not going to be able to score enough points anyway. They are more than 500 points behind now, chat. But wow, what a way to take it to a Game 3 situation. Again, both of these sides are so strong. It's not like one team gets dominated. It seems like one lane is really important to the others and the other side decide to go in the opposite lane. It's really strong and really powerful Pokemon Unite play coming out from both of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. As ADK are just trying to pull a move, a replace. They're trying to do a reverse of what Furious 5 did, but that did not work. And now, I've never seen a Hooper in its unbound form move that quickly across the stage. It got from the central area. It got from the home base to central area so quickly. But it's trying to get 24 strong mon, but these mons have counters. These mons have counters, and the players that are great and players that are up and coming and players that want to play at the top level are finding those counters. But we're not messing around. It is the final. Game 3, Tano. Game 3, T-Tar Mimikyu banned.
Yeah, and one of these teams is going to win it. I mean, we expect the T-Tar Mimikyu ban straight out the bat. The Dragonite ban is interesting. Furious 5 deciding they don't want to deal with the secure that they can do on that mon, do ADK. The Hooper ban is also a really good shout. Very strong, both movesets. We've seen the Trick Hooper be so important to the mons that they have paired it with tonight. But Hooper, even the Hyperspace holes are so important for rotations, Lobo.
Apologies for my laughter. I think ADK just got sick and tired of the Hooper invades. I think they got sick and tired of the Hooper invade, but that is not the only mon that we've seen Furious 5 invade with. This opens the gate for the Elder God. The Elder God's coming on in. We know how strong it can be, especially if it takes that red buff. But we've got the Sylveon being locked on in. They've done it again. ADK have done it again. They're giving Furious 5. Oh. I thought we would see the Gyarados Leafeon. but we're not seeing the Gyarados Leafeon this time round.
That is interesting.
This is very interesting. Maybe Furious 5 are thinking that they will take it in their last 2 picks.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, they know, they've used it already quite a bit. Maybe there's a bit of mind games going on here, Lobo, and maybe they think that ADK are going to try and respond to it with what they were picking. So we see that Zorak and the Comfey coming. Oh my god!
As soon as I saw the Zoroark, I knew the Comfey was going to be picked. But now, what ADK have done is they've taken the Slowbro away from Mama, and oh, hello. Oh, and this is a good counter. This is a really good counter. We heard you talk about Serena early on, how good of an all-rounder it is top lane. I am a big fan of Serena players as well. It does such good healing from Stomp and Triple Axel, plus the ability of Grassy Glide and Drop Kick. Drop Kick to slow down their enemies. But Pikachu into the Zoroark is a very good move.
It is, 100% it is. My only thinking here is that a Zoroark with a Comfey on it takes a lot to KO Lobo, and I don't think that the Pikachu does, and I don't think they're going to be able to put enough damage on it with that Volt Tackle and the rest of the team hitting it to KO it with the Comfey on it. I think that's the difficulty that they've got at the moment. Obviously, we're going to see that Sylveon probably shout out with the hyper voice with the current moveset that it's got, but it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Zoroark on its own, yeah, really, really set up. They can KO that quite easily, but with a Comfey on it, it's going to be a difficult, a tall order for them to do.
It's going to be interesting to see what moveset we get from the Blissey as well. I'm going to call it now, Tano, because I think I saw it earlier on. I think we're going to get a Blissey invade. Don't quote me on it. Don't, I'm putting my money on a Blissey invade. Furious 5 have invaded every single game, whether it be on an Eldegoss, whether it be on a Hooper. I am pretty sure that we have seen a Blissey invade. I've seen a Blissey invade at some point today. I'm almost positive of it, and I think I'm gonna put. And it's very interesting that the Slowbro player Mama is actually the one on the Blissey this time round. So it's game 3, new look teams from both sides. Let's see where we go with this.
Yeah, I mean, we see that Zoroark going into the jungle rotation straight away there. That means it's going to be able to come into lane with that Evo and that power spike. It is such a good early game mon, one of the best in the game at the moment. The Rowlet up in the top lane, it looks like they're going to try and go and get some stacks, but even though the Blissey is there, they are going to be able to secure it with the Comfey to get those stacks. But the Sylveon is coming up with an early Evo, means that they can put some pressure on up there. Rowlet is very, very weak to begin with, and they're going to pick out the Comfey and the Rowlet, giving the Furious 5 the massive advantage up in that top lane.
Absolutely, and what we saw is we did see the split jungle. So Pikachu has that blue buff. It's got the Electro Ball online, and we might see an Electro Ball Volt Tackle combination. But like I mentioned before, we've seen an Electro Ball Thunderbolt combination. Electro Ball being able to slow, Thunderbolt being able to get another stun. We need to get that Serena online as soon as possible, because that is going to be a great hopeful counter if we can get the Triple Axel on top of the Zoroark. It's such a good stun. It's such a good placement. Here we go into the top side. Zoroark is just going to put on the damage, but it does. Oh, it illusions out. Mystical Fire almost going to catch it. Pikachu gets the takedown on the Zoroark. And your prediction, Tano, was proven to be just a little bit wrong, but I don't know if that's just the early game prowess of Zoroark being a little bit weaker in those early stages.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Comfey hopping off it there. I mean, I know it used its move for the healing. It's probably looking at picking up some more flowers to be able to be strong there. But in the meantime, Furious 5 have decided, let's just keep the aggression on this Zoroark. They need to keep that Zoroark under level, because if it gets a level advantage, that is going to be a snowball from them. So they're doing a fantastic job to make sure that that Zoroark doesn't get to that position. The Comfey is currently on its own. They're going to pick up the Comfey there. They need to make sure that they're staying to somebody on their side, because the Comfey is an easy target to pick off.
Serena being online is super good here. It has its ability to sustain itself. Zoroark is going to come on in. The Decidueye has not managed to get online yet. Levels across the board fairly even. Scores across the board fairly even. But look at this. Sylveon not afraid to go in. Mystical Fire on top. And the Cramorant's going to get picked out here as it tries to hurricane its way out. Zoroark going in with that Night Slash. It gets taken. It gets stopped with Volt Tackle. Here we go once again. Is it going to get out? It's Night Slashing its way through. And Pikachu goes down the 2 KO streak. There you go. A veteran Zoroark player is going to be able to get out of that situation very easily, Tano. And I think that Zoroark's going to start rolling. Nope. Ooh. Am I wrong again?
This is exactly what I was talking about, though, Lobo. So look at the way that just managed to pick up the 2 KO. The Volt Tackle from the Pikachu wasn't enough because of the Comfey hitting that move at the right perfect time. It wasn't enough damage to KO it, to take it down. And in the meantime, Zoroark has just gone on an absolute spree with their Unite move as well. So they've now managed to pick up enough KOs and XP to get that level 9. They're going to be able to get this bottom Regirock, and now they can start trying to get a little bit of a snowball.
This is a little bit unfortunate. They were dealing with that Zoroark so well. They need, like you said, they need a lot of people to deal with it. Pikachu just not enough. It is a very, very squishy mon. Once it gets taken down, especially looked on by a Decidueye, a Cramorant, and a Zoroark. This Decidueye is just getting pushed away. It's going to try and eject button over. But again, I think this is really smart from the Cramorant, not going with the dive air slash build, because that Hurricane Surf provides so much more CC that the Zoroark can just dive on into with the Night Slash combinations.
100%. We have a level 11 Zoroark at 6 minutes. This is a pretty good position for them to be in at the moment. And with that Comfey sat on them the entire time, they're going to be able to get quite a lot of damage if they come down here. The thing is, the Pikachu with the Volt Tackle is fantastic, but they need the people there to back it up. Are they going to be able to do so? We see the Pikachu Unite come in there, Lobo. That's going to be enough to at least pick up the Cramorant. But oh my god, the Zoroark dives out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Comfey had to pop its Unite move as well. Zoroark could go down here. No, it manages to take down the Trevenant as it manages to make its way out. This Zoroark Comfey is such a dangerous coach. Volt Tackle going on in. Electro Ball. Serena managing to pick up the kill, but it goes onto the Slowbro. Can we get another Volt Tackle going on? We need a Volt Tackle to stop. Serena picking up the 3 KO streak. Gatling Gun is coming on in. The Volt Tackle on top. It ejects to reposition, but great defense by the Cramorant, Tano. Comfey is a problem for teams to deal with.
It really is. The way that a Comfey can hop off a mon and hop onto the other one straight away, as long as you have somebody near it, you know, if your mon gets KO'd, they're just going to hop onto somebody else and give them that healing. It's so hard to target the Comfey in those situations. And even with Slow Smoke popping out from the Blissey there, it's not enough to stop that Zoroark, currently running the Feint Attack and the Cut build, by the way. And it seems to be working their way. They're a level 12 at the moment. They're down there with the Cramorant. They're down there with the Decidueye. Slowbro putting on some zoning in case anybody wants to come in. They secure the Regirock for their side.
This is a lot more even game than we're used to seeing than with Furious 5 rolling away with it with the Gyarados build. The Zoroark is now the Gyarados in this situation with that heal and that sustain. The Mystical Fire Sylveon trying to do its best, but even a mon as tanky as a Blissey for a supporter is, oh, there's the Volt Tackle on to the Zoroark, and it gets Thunderstorm, but it manages to Night Slash its way out of the Thunderstorm range. Wow. If you are a Zoroark player, take notes. This is Zoroark is such a good dive in, dive out kind of mon, but it knew the range of that Thunderstorm, and it's just going to get an overcap here. 12 points going in and 38 points going in. They're leaving the base on 1. Great math by ADK. Serena's going to go on in. It does get Slow Beam, Bliss Assistance as well. Draining Kiss hip, and it's going to go with the Queenly Stomp. So Serena is just moving and dodging any way it can, but it has absolutely no support, and it's going to be taken down. Wow. This is the first time I've seen Furious 5 fully on the back foot with this Zoroark Comfey combination.
Yeah, And I'm very surprised to see them break that T1 up there as well, Lobo, because it was on 1 point. That is a perfect situation to leave a T1 in. You want to leave it there at this current stage of the game because you can score easily enough in it with Rayquaza if you do manage to secure it. Now you've given XP to Furious 5 that they can use to try and catch up there. So it is an interesting decision, but they are currently in the lead. The Zoroark has been absolutely vital in this game, but even so, they've got some huge damage coming in from the Decidueye and the Cramorant. They are rotating down to this Reggie that's going to be spawning down in this bottom objective. Are Furious 5 going to be there to stop them getting it? It doesn't seem like it. They're just going to try and get whatever XP they can and leave that objective for ADK to secure.
Yeah, absolutely. ADK is just going to take that, but that is why. That is why, even though there's 3 seconds, again, they were hoping the Regieleki might have spawned a little bit sooner than that because they like that Regieleki being pushed as well. 20 seconds left to go, Tano. A Rayquaza fight. This is the grand final. We've had a bracket reset. Both teams are 1-1. We've seen every combination under the sun that these teams can provide. We have a level 14 Zoroark, level 13 Decidueye, level 13 Cramorant. We have a level 13 Serena, level 13 Sylveon, level 12 Pikachu. And here we go. The big green lizard has spawned, Tano.
Oh, yeah. And it's interesting to see this Zoroark still trying to grab some XP up in those lanes. It's got its Unite move. Looks like it's just trying to farm a little bit more, maybe to try and get that level 15. There we go. Level 15 on the Zoroark. That is going to be huge, but they need to get it quick enough for this engage. If they take the engage now, Furious 5, they may be able to get a pick. No, the Zoroark has managed to come back in time. We've got some really good Spirit Shackles coming in from the Decidueye here, and it seems like ADK are just quite happy being on the defense. The Furious 5 have taken that advantage. They start to poke this Rayquaza to try and lead ADK to coming in, but it's not enough. They aren't falling for the bait at the moment. Oh, we've got a Unite move coming out from the Zoroark and from the Cramorant and the Decidueye. That's going to be enough. Are they going to be able to pick up more? They pick up the Serena and the Trevenant. The Unite move comes from the Pikachu, but it isn't enough to get any KOs. That Comfey on the Zoroark is enough to take all that damage. They pick up the Sylveon there as well, Lobo. It's literally just the Cramorant that has fallen to the side of Furious 5. It is all ADK currently in this battle, although having said that, the Decidueye has just gone down. The Pikachu is not letting up. Slowbro coming in with some nice surfs there to try and back up away from the Decidueye, but it's still not enough. The Serena Unite move trying to take out the Zoroark, but again, the Comfey is there, but it has swung the other way now. Furious 5 are ripping this objective. The Zoroark is going to try and see if they can steal it, but with a Volt Tackle Pikachu that they have just managed to secure with the Blissey as well, Lobo. Oh my god.
Pikachu's going down. Mystical Fire Sylveon. Zoroark is down. It goes to Furious.
It's the Cramorant.
It's the Cramorant. It's the Cramorant. It's the Cramorant. We thought it was done, but the Cramorant came in out of nowhere.
Oh my god. And with literally seconds left in this game, that's going to be enough for ADK to take the win. Cramorant managing to get back in time to actually get the secure on that objective. That fight was going on for so long, Lobo, that it felt like not only that I was going to run out of words to say, but it also felt like it went like a pendulum. So ADK were winning that fight to begin with, but then the reset came from the other side of Furious 5. They came in and managed to just do so much damage. But wow, what a secure from Cramorant.
Absolutely.